Viewers, for some years now, we are being told by a group of leftists, pseudo-seculars and self-styled human rights activists and their allies in the journalism world that India has become an intolerant Hindu majoritarian state. Viewers, the campaign reached a hysterical peak after Parliament passed the Citizenship Amendment Bill, or the CAB. When the bill was passed, the CAA was enacted. In Delhi, anti-CAA protesters occupied Shaheen Bagh for months. Their protest was seen as a Tahrir Square moment, an intifada, a righteous uprising against an exclusivist, saffronized state. In other parts of the country, viewers, anti-CAA protesters ran amok, clashing with protesters and calling for breakup of India. Foreign left-leaning newspapers, with an axe to grind against the dispensation, wrote off India as an island of bubbling bigotry. But today, viewers, one picture has all but put paid to this propaganda. What is this picture? This picture is of the Guru Granth Sahib Swaroop being reverentially brought back from Afghanistan, where its sanctity was under threat on account of the Taliban's intolerant Islamist outlook. Viewers, that minorities from Afghanistan, Hazaras, Muslims included, are choosing today to leave their own embattled country and seek refuge in India should be enough evidence for India's maligners that Bharat remains the most tolerant and safe home away from home for the religiously persecuted anywhere in the world. Indeed, viewers, it is sad that India's Sabka Saath is perceptible to those escaping persecution, but not leftists, sundry activists, and their political patrons in this country. In this thriving, vibrant democracy. But perhaps that is now set to change. Some who were rabidly anti-CAA, like the Akali Dal, for example, are today lauding the Modi government's lifeline for minorities. In retrospect, they now say that it was a good move. After all, viewers, where would persecuted Afghan Sikhs and Afghan Hindus and Hazaras and several other minorities have gone? But to India. And tell me something, viewers, would they have even thought about returning to this country if we were like, for example, Pakistan? Or, viewers, some European countries that are so parochial that at the height of the terrible excesses in Syria, children that were escaping with their parents were left to die on beaches. Viewers, today, those that were critical of India's tolerance, its civilizational credo, are muted, too embarrassed to disagree. Listen to how, for example, one of the biggest critics of the Modi government, the Akali Dal today, has done a complete U-turn on the CAA, for instance. Listen also to Sikh Afghan parliamentarians and the Granthis. Listen to their raw emotion as they were rescued and given succor in India. Listen to all these reactions, viewers, today.
शुक्रिया अदा करें मोदी सरकार का, भारत का, शहबल सिंह का, और सरसा जी का और सबका धन्यवाद कर रहे हैं कि जो सेवा की है इन्होंने, बहुत बहुत सबका धन्यवाद।
अच्छा सर, यहाँ पे पिछले साल एक बिल पास हुआ था सीएए का, जिसमें जो अफगान के रेफ्यूजी हैं उनको देश का नागरिक बनाया जा सकता है, जो कि दूसरी माइनॉरिटीज है जिन पे जुल्म हो रहे हैं वहाँ पे। आप ऐसे कानून, ऐसे बिल का स्वागत करते हैं? आप लोग जो लोग आए हैं,
हाँ जी, बिल्कुल
आपकी मदद।
हाँ जी, बिल्कुल मदद करें, बहुत स्वागत कर रहे हैं।
ऐसे बिल, ऐसे कानून आने चाहिए।
हाँ जी, हाँ बिल्कुल आने चाहिए।
कोई भी ऐसा आपको नहीं लग रहा कि भारत ने किसी भी प्रकार का भेदभाव किया है या कुछ किया है?
नहीं जी,
अफगान को खुले दिल से एक्सेप्ट।
बिल्कुल खुले दिल से।
ज़्यादा मुश्किल था, फिर गवर्नमेंट ने मदद की है, सबको निकाला गवर्नमेंट ने।
सुरक्षित पहुंच के हम बहुत धन्यवाद करते हैं मोदी जी का, एम्बेसी ऑफ इंडिया का, आर्मी ऑफ इंडिया का, जिसने हमारे साथ बहुत मदद किया, उधर से इधर तक पहुंचाया है। और बस दुख इस बात का है कि उधर हमारी संगत फंसी हुई है।
इंडियन लोगों से वो प्यार जो हमें इंडियन लोगों से मिलता है, सबको शुक्रिया करती हूँ।
जो अफ़गानिस्तान में हमारे पीढ़ियों से रह रहे थे, इस तरह हालात जो एक हमने नहीं देखा, तो जो आप देख रहे हैं उधर सब कुछ हमारे से एरिया सब कुछ खत्म हुआ। 20 साल जो गवर्नमेंट बनी थी, अतः सब कुछ खत्म है उधर, अब जीरो है।
जब सीए का प्रोटेस्ट हुआ, जो बच्चियां साउथ इंडिया में अलग अलग कॉलेजों में फंसी हुई थी, यहाँ के मेजॉरिटी के लोगों की बेटियां, उनको हमने घरों तक टिकटें देकर सुरक्षित घर तक छोड़ कर गए। यह भी आग्रह करते हैं देश के प्रधानमंत्री जी से, गृह मंत्री जी से, कि जो हमारे लोग हैं इनकी जो सीए है, सिटीजन अमेंडमेंट एक्ट के अंदर तब्दीली करके, अमेंडमेंट करके उसकी कट ऑफ डेट जो 2014 से 2021 की जाए, ताकि जो लोग अफगानिस्तान से आए हैं उनको इसका लाभ मिल सके और वो भी अपना जीवन सुरक्षित यहाँ पे निवर कर सकें, उनके बच्चे भी जो हैं वो यहाँ पढ़ सकें, लिख सकें।
देखिए, जब सीएए लेजिस्लेशन इनैक्ट हुई तो सुस्ते देखिए कौन कौन उसका विरोध कर रहा था, और अभी वही लोग कहते हैं कि जी 2014 की जो कट ऑफ डेट है वो ठीक नहीं थी, उसको आगे करना चाहिए। पर ये मोदी जी हैं और उनकी सरकार, ये कट ऑफ डेट के बारे नहीं है, दिस इज अ सेंटिमेंट।
This is the sentiment. This is the sentiment, says the government today. Well, let's open this up. Let's go straight across to Arshpreet Khadial, spokesperson of the Congress and an advocate of the Supreme Court. Mr. Khadial, I just want to ask you this question today. If India was such an intolerant, saffronized, bigoted, parochial, anti-minority country, why would Hazras, several Afghani Muslims, Sikhs, Afghan minorities, legitimate Afghan minorities, want to come to this country? Why wouldn't they go elsewhere?
Right. So they wouldn't go elsewhere because India has the best to offer, and India is the world's largest democracy, which should open its arms to every community that needs help, not just 6 communities and not just to 3 countries, is what I want to start with. Second of all, we commend that Guru Granth Sahib has been brought back home. We applaud it, we admire it. Our only request to the BJP government is that instead of making it by a CAA, going there, imagine now, let's say you are of a community that does not fall under the category of the 6 communities which are under CA. So there are going to be forces sent. They'll be helping your friends, your neighbors, but they'd stop at you. They'd say, oh, they're sorry. Your community is not falling
Mr.
under
Khadial,
CA.
Mr.
Therefore,
Khadial, can you
we will
name
not be
me?
able to help you with it.
Can you
Therefore,
name me?
We're not able to help you with it.
One second.
Even though,
Can you? One second. Mr. Khadial. Mr.
Even
Khadial.
though you might be killed, we won't be able to help you.
Mr.
That is
Arshpreet
what the
Khadial.
attitude is going to be due to CAA, is what I'm trying to tell you.
Mr. Arshpreet Khadial, can you name me any Afghan Muslim who has been turned away in the last 5 days? Name me one. And have you? One minute. Let me finish. I've not finished my question. Sir, allow me. Allow me to finish my question, please.
Ji.
Can you name me, first of all, one Afghan Muslim? And secondly, can you tell me how many Afghan Muslims in the last few days have been evacuated, who are Muslims who worked with the Indian government closely in achieving its democratic objectives in Afghanistan who have been accommodated in this country. Can you?
See, number one, first things first. There isn't just, you asked me if I could name one Muslim. One Muslim would be too less.
Mr. Khadial, please, I'm only asking you, bare minimum. Just give me the answer.
Please. Allow me to give an answer, please, if I may, with your due permission. All I'm saying is, there are not just Muslims which are to be evacuated alongside Sikhs and Hindus. There is any and every community that there is in Afghanistan should be
which community
should
has
be
been
safeguarded.
So tell me, which person who has legitimately applied to be rescued from Afghanistan, cutting across communities, has been rejected, sir?
Now, please understand one thing.
No, I just want to, see, the Congress spokesperson here must tell me with a fact, because I'll tell you one thing, sir, that this particular CAA creates a classification. There are laws internationally which also create reasonable classifications, and they have withstood the test, sir, the constitutional test. The Lautenberg amendments in the United States, there are several, even in Israel. They're created for a specific reason, like the one that you are noticing. But I want you to tell me, sir, which Muslim from Afghanistan in the last 5, 7, 8 days since there have been these flights has been rejected after applying? Just give me that answer, because if you cannot name, I will list you the names of those who have been evacuated from there, sir. And they're all Muslims. And I can also give you numbers of Muslims who have been given citizenship over the last 7 years from Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Afghanistan. So if you can just tell me who has been rejected from these three countries, I will accept what you're saying.
All right. Arif, Arfan, and Ahmed are three names that I want to give you. Now, please understand one thing.
No, who are these names?
Now, please, if you won't allow me to speak, there's no point calling me here, right? So please allow me, give me a minute.
Okay.
After that, ask me as many questions as you want. I'll give all your answers.
Okay.
Please. Number one, why do we have to help but make it biased and partial? Why do we not become all-inclusive is what I'm trying to ask you. The moment a person is evacuated, he's brought to India, his suffering is brought to an end, the persecution comes to an end. Now, why do we not include every single community? If we cannot bring them here, at least safeguard them there. Second of all, asylum laws we already have. Please understand one thing. Asylum laws are already there. You can pick anyone and everyone. There are women who are being hung to a tree to make an example of them. There are women who are being killed to death because they did not wear a burqa. There are children who are being beaten because they were listening to music. There are children who have been killed because they were trying to watch a movie. And at this point of time, we are debating that we are going to be picking up this person, but we are going to be denying
who is debating
evacuation to this person because he does not belong to this community.
Mr. Arshpreet Khadial, who is debating this?
Now, please understand. Allow me the time. 45 seconds is all I ask.
You talk facts with me.
Why,
Stop talking
why
rhetoric.
Why do we have to include only 6 communities and 3 countries? There are many more countries which have persecution problem. There are many more communities than 6
Mr. Arshpreet Khadial, let me ask you this question. Today, I was reading a statement in the newspapers.
Now, there's going to be a friend who wouldn't be picked up
Mr. Khadial,
he would be told,
Mr. Khadial,
you do not belong to the communities mentioned under CA, so we cannot help you. Sorry, you'll have to stay in Afghanistan. And even if you get killed, it's not really our responsibility.
Okay,
we are sorry,
I'm going to play some pictures. Okay, Mr. Khadial. I'm going to play some pictures from outside the UNHRC office today, viewers. And these are Afghan Muslims. And they're here in India begging the UNHRC, not the Indian government. The Indian government, they're full of praise for. They're begging the UNHRC to give them refugee status. The UN, viewers. And these pictures are here. We're just going to put them out. Nizam bhai, let's pull those pictures out. I'm going to play, 1 minute, mister. Khadian.
I'm not saying anything. Please,
No,
please understand. I'm just saying, please make those pictures available on my screen.
Here are
as
the
well.
pictures, viewers. Outside the UNHRC headquarters for India. These are the UNHRC headquarters for India, viewers. Here are the pictures. These pictures show you hundreds of Afghan Muslims. Hundreds of Afghan Muslims. Here, I'll play them again for you. Hundreds.
Could you
Where
please
have
make
these
it
come
available on
from?
my screen
If we
as
don't
well?
accept Muslims in this country, have they dropped out of the skies?
I just have one request.
Actually,
please make it available on my
today
screen
viewers,
as well.
to use that expression, dropped out of the skies, would be insensitive, because that is precisely what is happening after great democracies. That people like Rahul Gandhi, the intellectual guardians of Arshpreet Khadial, today salute for their democracy.
Salute to you as well
From
for
their,
allowing
from
me the
their
freedom to
planes,
speak.
Mr. Khadial, let me finish.
Salute
From
to
their
you as
planes,
well for allowing
from
me the
their
freedom to
planes,
speak.
body parts of Afghans, desperate Afghans dumped by America, are being recovered.
Allow me to say something. There are
And the
people
Congress
literally
party
falling down
extols the
from plane,
virtues
and
of
they're
the
not being
Biden
hit.
government. The Biden government, which is decidedly leftist, and Biden himself is a darling of the liberals. So viewers, that's where we are at. They will not extol the virtues of India, but they will sing praises. I was watching an interview, very strange interview. It's Rahul Gandhi and one other economist, part-time activist, I don't know what, but suggesting how great America was and how awful it had turned under Trump and how inclusive it was under Biden. Viewers,
And who was calling
the
Trump?
plane,
Who was calling
the plane
Biden?
took off.
Who was inviting
The
them?
American plane took off, dumped its allies. People were falling from the skies,
Will you
viewers.
please allow me a chance to speak?
Falling from
If
the
I-
skies. I want to open this up. Sanju Verma, please respond to Mr. Khadial. He says, you have created a bias law which is preventing Muslims from coming across the borders seeking
Not just
refuge
Muslims, many more
in
communities.
Afghanistan.
Many more communities.
He
Please
wants
don't
the
limit it
entire,
to one community.
entire
All I'm
Afghan
saying is,
population to come to
clarity.
India.
Don't limit it
Says
to one
Mr.
community.
Don't limit
Every
it. He says, bring them all. Bring all Afghanis. Let's open this house.
Please understand.
Bring it-
all I'm
bring
saying is,
them in.
Do not misquote me. All communities is what I said. That's all
Yeah,
I'm
it's
saying.
okay. So we are saying also.
Can I please not have this man interrupt me?
He's not interrupting you. Don't worry. Go ahead.
Yes, you were very generous. He's spoken for a good 12 minutes and he still did not make any sense. Be that as it may, I'll just be very quick on this. Point number one, let us be very clear that India is not a signatory to the 1951 International Refugee Convention, nor is India a signatory to the 1967 International Refugee Protocol Agreement. Despite not being a signatory to the Refugee Convention and Protocol Agreements of 1951 and 1967, I think kudos to the Modi government, be it people from Bangladesh, Myanmar, Afghanistan, Pakistan, whenever we see somebody who's persecuted on grounds of religion or what have you, the Modi government has never hesitated to bestow them with the due protection that this minority group deserves. Point number two, the same bogey, including Manjinder Singh Sirsa and Congress leaders who were saying, oh my God, CAA is anti-minorities, particularly anti-Muslims, if I may use that phrase. Today, Manjinder Singh Sirsa says, why is the cutoff date for CAA, why is the threshold December 31st, 2014? Please, Modi ji, can you increase the cutoff date to 2021? Which means, in hindsight, the CAA was right, both in its bona fide intent, spirit, and the fact that the content which was disputed by many is right as well. Article 5 to 11, point number 3, deals with citizenship status to people within India or those who seek citizenship. Now, what Article 5 to 11 says is that ordinarily you need to be born in India or be residing in India for at least 11 years at a stretch to be eligible for citizenship. What does the CAA amendment say? The CAA amendment of 2019, it only says that the process of giving citizenship by naturalization will be expedited from 11 years to 5 years for persecuted minorities from Bangladesh, Afghanistan, and Pakistan, which means Buddhists, Jains, Sikhs, Hindus, Christians, and Parsis. Now, I want to ask if we are simply expediting the residency or naturalization requirement for persecuted minorities, how does this become anti-Muslim? Point number one. There are 57 Muslim nations, Rahul. I want to ask, how many Muslims from Afghanistan who was, desperate to get onto that plane, how many Muslims has Malaysia taken in? Because I still remember the tweet by Mahathir Mohamad, the then Prime Minister of Malaysia, before he stepped down in September 2019. He said, CAA is anti-Muslim. How many Muslims has Iran taken in, Iraq taken in, Albania taken in, Algeria taken in, Turkey taken in, Somalia taken in, Brunei taken in? These are all Muslim nations. We have today, I just want to end by saying, Hardeep Puri gave a number which I found very interesting. He said we've taken out, evacuated 626 people, of which 228 are Indians or of Indian origin, which means 398 are not Indians. They could be Muslims, they could be Hindus, they could be Sikhs, they could be Parsis. 398 non-Indians have also been evacuated. So this Congress panelist who was waxing eloquent about Modi this and Modi that, मुझे ये बताइए लगभग 400 लोग ऐसे हैं who were not of Indian origin and have been evacuated in the last 48 hours. Will you still say that the Modi government is anti-Muslim, that CAA is anti-Muslim? Muslim शब्द का तो mention ही नहीं हुआ है CAA amendment में. It only talks about giving safe refuge to persecuted Hindus, Sikhs, Christians, Buddhists, Jains.
Okay.
Parsis. Why are you so outraged?
Well, look,
Why are you so
let's not get caught in this. I want to open this up. Shahzad Poonawalla, Ishkaran Bhandari, Sabha Naqvi, and Dr. Suman C. Raman are also there with us. Shahzad Poonawalla, first to you. I find it strange that the Congress over all these years could not find time to give citizenship to Pak persecuted refugees who settled in Kashmir but never even got a right to vote, let alone anything else. And today they're telling us how India has become bigoted, how it's no longer a tolerant country. How do you square this?
Rahul, actually I'm a little confused and I hope you can solve my confusion. Because if the Congress party's official spokesperson is actually saying that open up the doors for Muslims from Afghanistan and from all over the world, it means that there is no Islamophobia in India. It means that Muslims like me are not undergoing genocide as had been alleged, I think a year ago on your same debate. I remember many of these panelists had appeared and they said that, "Arey, yahan par Musalmano ka jeena to mushkil nahi, namumkin ho chuka hai." So Rahul, first of all, at least let us congratulate that the country has become safe for Muslims like me and in fact for all Muslims across the world, that they don't want to send them to any of those 57 countries Sanju was talking about, but they want to bring them all to India. So I think congratulations, Islamophobia doesn't exist in India. That has been proven categorically. Now coming to the main point, the Congress party has mastered the art of doublespeak on everything, whether it's the farm laws or whether it is the CAA. CAA was an idea that didn't come to the Bharatiya Janata Party, it came to Mahatma Gandhi. It was an idea that the Congress party had passed in a resolution that it wanted to implement. It was an idea that Manmohan Singh got up in parliament as leader of opposition and advocated for. It was an idea that the Congress party implemented, by the way, only for Pakistani Hindus in Rajasthan and in Gujarat in its UPA 1 era. And by the way, the Congress party's spokesperson from Punjab, Mr. Jaiveer Shergill, has actually advocated for evacuation only of two communities, the Sikhs and the Hindus. So is that also communal according to Mr. Arshdeep, or does he think that when they do it, it is chamatkar, and when others suggested, it is gunegar? I think what has come out today is that the entire phobia that was generated on CAA, the entire hatred in the minds of Muslims that was planted. I ask you one provision, Rahul, one provision that denies any Muslim citizenship right under CAA. It doesn't. It only accelerates the process for certain other communities that are unprivileged because of their circumstances. But it takes away rights of nobody. Even today, Muslims from Afghanistan can apply and will apply. And by the way, refuge is being given to all. In fact, it was the Congress party spokesperson, Mr. Jaiveer Shergill, that even in refuge sought to make it only about two communities. I am glad the Prime Minister has a different vision, because that is the vision of India, not the vision that the Congress party advocated through its spokesperson.
Between 2014 and 2019, NDA granted citizenship to 600 Muslims, viewers. They applied, they were here, they got it. These are replies to Parliament. Most of these were from Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Bangladesh. Sabah Naqvi, how would you like to respond tonight to Sanju Verma and Shehzad Poonawalla and others?
Very quick points on the issue that I was told is the theme of the program. Kindly bear with me. What does recent events have to do with CAA, which is not yet notified? Right? Number one, it's a technical question. The CAA, the government of India has not notified CAA. India has a very old civilization
with Afghanistan. You are aware that Hamid Karzai, Abdullah, they all have spent time in India. We've had a tradition of Afghan refugees being here. They speak Hindi, they speak Urdu. You'll find any number of them. We have an investment in Afghanistan. We have an old history, old historical connection. What does CAA have to do with anything? The CAA has not yet gone to the Supreme Court for the test. You mentioned Israel. Israel is a theocratic state. There is no guarantee that the CAA will stand muster. There is a very, I believe the Congress spokesperson was all muddled up because he did not raise the issues which are relevant. Why are you bringing CAA into this when CAA is only about domestic politics? It's about the casting of India as a sort of Hindu First Nation, which it is. And do not confuse refugees from war-torn countries going anywhere where they will be allowed in. Are you trying to say that there is no problem confronting Muslims right now? Today there are... No, am I going to be interrupted?
Let her speak. Sanju Verma, please, I won't allow you to interrupt. Let her speak. Let her finish, please. You can come on.
I will ask you, Rahul. You may choose not to do those programs. There have been on a daily basis attacks on poor Indian Muslims all over. It's happening in the Hindi belt. It is a daily occurrence right now. It is not something that I'm conjuring up. I have written books on the great pluralism, syncretism of the Indian civilization. So it completely, I will not be in denial of it, nor will I magnify it.
So all Hindus are Islamophobes, you're saying?
I'm not saying
because there have been a few attacks. Times Now picked up the attack last week. Times Now picked up the attack last week on an Indian Muslim.
Just as I would not say that all Muslims are Taliban supporters.
Well, there you go. So you said Hindu First Nation. So one second, ma'am, you said that the CA, for the first time defines constitutionally India as a Hindu First Nation. Yes. Then why is the Akali Dal? Okay, so I'm asking you, madam, why is then the Akali Dal today congratulating the Modi government, the Akalis who look after minority Sikh interests, congratulating the Modi government for bringing in the CA?
What specifically show me the quote where they are saying we congratulate Modi government?
Well, here it is. Let us just play out the soundbite. Why don't you play out the Manjinder Singh Sirsa soundbite? Madam can hear. I don't even need to read out the quote, but if you want, I will read it out to you, ma'am, in just a second here.
Is that the law that has not yet been applied?
Let me tell you.
The government has not yet been notified.
Request PM and HM. 1 minute, let me finish. Request PM and HM to amend the CAA law, extend cutoff date from 2014 to 2015. Minorities of Afghanistan will benefit. They can be safe here and kids can study. This country allows for it.
So let me reply to that. I entirely agree with you. Of course, he has said that. There is a complete crisis facing them in Afghanistan. And if the CA, which the government has not yet notified, by the way, the CA which is only applicable up to 2000, you know that. Why
that is a point too. That is a fair point.
Why
I concede.
I
concede to you.
Why is CA into what the government of India
I
is
concede
doing today?
to you.
Which,
no, Sabah Naqvi, we all know. 1 second, the rules, viewers, just in case you're confused, the bill was passed. It is today an act. However, the rules under which the citizenship will be granted have not been notified, and that is because, viewers, it becomes very difficult to come up with the papers that are required to process citizenship. And therefore,
no, that's not the
let me finish, madam. And that's the reason why
That's not the only reason.
Okay, 1 minute. Let me finish.
The Bengal elections, it was brought in
1
for
second.
Bengal.
Let me
They
tell you
lost
something.
Bengal.
Let me tell you
Come
something.
on.
Sabha Naqvi, there are at
It was
least
brought
3.
in for the, no,
You're
let
not
also give
allowing
you
me to
one more
finish.
example.
I'm coming out.
Final example.
I'm giving you an example. If you listen,
Example.
there are already
Final
3
example.
amendments, and Ishkaran Bhandari will tell you to the Passport Act, which also prioritize citizenship.
Let me ask you a very simple question.
Ma'am, allow me, please.
Allow me to ask you one question.
Ask me.
That country called Saudi Arabia, which promotes the most intolerant form of Islam,
Yes, ma'am.
which has many Indians going there on work permits. You
Yes.
cannot become a citizen of the country, be you in 20. Do you think, how would you like it if they suddenly said for any job in Saudi Arabia, first we must see if a Muslim can get it, then we will give it to a Hindu. That is what the CAA from the perspective of India.
Okay.
The CAA is a very pathetic
Viewers,
law.
Sabha
It's a
Naqvi,
very small
and I want to
law.
bring in Ishkaran Bhandari very quickly here. Ishkaran Bhandari, let's be honest. There are at least 2 amendments that have been made to the Passport Act, which allow for the same exceptions. Some of them have been made in the state of Rajasthan to accommodate only Hindus and Sikhs and non-Muslim minorities from Pakistan. Would you please explain how is this possible?
Rahul, one doesn't expect much sense from Congress arguments, but today it's spectacular. They say invite everybody in. Is he asking for an Akhand Bharat that we take over their territories also? What is the logic of inviting everybody in is beyond belief. But let us talk about the serious things here. We were 7 lakh Hindu-Sikh community in Afghanistan in 1970. Today, on a somber note, it is probably the end of Hindu-Sikh civilization in Afghanistan. We were less than 1,000. Today, probably nothing is left, except 1-2 brave priests who are staying in temples or gurdwaras. That is the somber note we are talking on today. And second aspect which I want to raise here is this, that please understand, people are talking about what is the importance of CA. I had the pleasure of being on multiple debates on your platform. It, for the first time, defines clearly that certain communities facing persecution because of their religion, Hindu, Sikh, Buddhist, etc., in Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Pakistan. Let me finish.
Buddhists,
Hindus are
failing in Sri Lanka.
Let me finish. Don't
Hindus
interrupt.
are facing in Sri Lanka. Why are you against them?
Rahul, I need to please make a point.
Rahul, I didn't interrupt. Please, can you let me have my say? I didn't interrupt.
Sorry, I'm keeping quiet. And
then that's what I'm saying. They were facing. They never speak when 7 lakh civilization ends. They would not speak then. But today, obviously, they would want to speak. And second aspect, every day we hear India is intolerant, and she said that people are, because of their Muslim faith, are being lynched in India. But she will still want Muslims to come to India, not request 57 Muslim majority countries to take it over. And last thing I would say, the principles of CA, I wish the government applies that in giving visas also. Not one Muslim who did not help the government there should be brought even on emergency visa, because we have seen the Rohingya problem, and we saw what once they come into India, it is almost impossible to remove them.
No, 1 second. Let me open this up. We have still Dr. Sumansi Raman. Dr. Sumansi Raman, I'm going to ask you 2 questions, sir, please. 2 questions. Sir, do you know about the Lautenberg amendments?
Rahul?
No, I'm asking you, do you know about the Lautenberg amendment?
I have heard about the Lautenberg amendment.
Which country?
I have not read it in
which
detail.
country?
Now, first,
let me ask you my second question. I only begged for your indulgence, sir, on 2 questions, please.
It is irrelevant to the debate.
No, it is very relevant. It is very relevant.
Tell me how is it relevant?
I'll tell you. The Spectre, viewers, the Spectre Lautenberg amendments were brought in by one of the greatest democracies on this planet. Sabha Naqvi chose to bring out the example of Israel because I raised it, but she ignored the Spectre Lautenberg amendments, which were in America, viewers, not a theocratic state, at least not till the last time I checked. It's the greatest democracy, people say. It intervenes everywhere. It intervenes everywhere to the delight of Indian liberals who sit in America, extol the First Amendment of America. I haven't finished, sir. Please, I'm only asking you a question. The Spectre Lautenberg amendments, viewers, were passed in America. And let me tell you, one of the watchdogs of civil rights and democracy that lectures India, has come out and praised the Spector-Lautenberg amendments as the greatest intervention on human rights, quote unquote. I wrote a piece last week for the Times of India in which I quoted this body. Yes, viewers, it's a pity that the Modi government has got rattled by the Lutyens left in this country and has not notified the laws. If I were them, I would notify them immediately and go do away with the cap. And do away with the cap. So the question I'm asking you, sir, if it's okay for America, the greatest democracy, and if it has withstood the test of constitutionality in America, why is it not okay for, sir, a country like India? Simple question.
A presidential form of government, we are a
just one second.
Simple question.
Now, can I please answer the question? The Lautenberg Amendment merely says persecuted minorities from any part of the world.
No, it's Jews. Please, it's Jews. No, 1 minute. It's Jews. Please, don't. Today, I'm not going to allow you to muddle up facts. Please read the Lautenberg Amendment, sir. Don't come here unprepared. That's wrong. Jews who are being persecuted in Iran, Coptic Christians, who are being persecuted in Iran, not Muslims from Iran, viewers. So don't wag your finger.
Rahul, let me, okay, first let me speak now. A total of 4,000 people have been repatriated in the last 6 years from Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan. 2,800 odd of them are from Pakistan, 912 are from Afghanistan and about 175 from Bangladesh. So overall, about 600 people to 700 people per year are being being taken in from these countries. Out of this 4,000, 600 of them happen to be Muslims. Now, that again is, I'm giving data as far as 2019 is concerned.
So what's your point? So you are saying that Muslims are not being turned away by the Modi government?
No, 1 second.
QED. What is that got to do with, I mean, even Sabha Naqvi is wondering. Even Sabha Naqvi is wondering, what is that got to do with anything?
Can I finish? It has got plenty to do with the fact that these are not millions or thousands of people who are being taken in. These are roughly 600 people a year.
So you want millions of refugees to be, you want millions of refugees. Sir,
1 second.
I mean, you know, if your goalpost is supposed to be 20 feet apart, you're making it 520 feet today to fit your argument, which is completely illogical. So you want millions of people to come in and seek refuge, sir. Will you give them, sir, food? Will you take care of them? Will you pay triple the taxes?
The fact that you are having a debate on prime-time television, the fact that you are having a debate on prime-time television about taking in a country of 1.3 billion people, taking in 600 people a year, is basically the need for as if the government.
Okay, so we should take in millions of people. Sanju Verma, take in millions of people. Take in millions of people. Take in the whole world. Let's become 1.2 billion. Let's become 5.2 billion in the next 1 year. Why are we wasting? Why are we allowing anyone to live anywhere else? India should invite everybody. Let's bring everyone as refugees.
Can I finish my point?
You won't even have passports to give, sir. You'll be so broke by the time you even make a passport.
Again, you're
no, what is your point? If you invite, if people apply for citizenship, X number of people apply and X number of people get. That's a problem. You should say no. Conjure up.
1 minute.
Send invites to people. Let me send an invite to Imran Khan also tomorrow.
No.
He'll probably want to live in India. At least he'll be able to go to a party where they serve alcohol and other forms of intoxication which he would love to consume, which he does.
Can I
mean, what are we talking?
My point is very simple. If you say that the government has, through the CAA, given refuge to hundreds of thousands of people. It is not true. First of all, this particular debate has
Okay,
nothing to do
I just don't get the point. So the test of Indian tolerance now is to give millions of people citizenship. Then Dr. Sumansi Raman will accept the point that India is a gracious host. Let's give citizenship to all of Scotland. Let's give it to that. Scottish people are tired of being with the United Kingdom. They want their freedom. Let's give it to them. Let's call them here. Let's call the Northern Irish here also. Let's give freedom to, God alone knows whichever denomination that Dr. Sumansi Raman feels persecuted around the world. No problems. Let's do it. But on a serious note, I understand. But on a very serious note, let's get back to a serious discussion. We've had the fun and the frolic. But let me bring back Sanju Verma. Sanju Verma, the criticism is that you've only given citizenship to such few people. You should have brought in millions of people. You're not open-hearted.
Who said you should have brought in millions of people?
Okay.
Yes.
Rahul, I want to read out a tweet by you which I archived, which I thought actually summed up this entire, Taliban episode, the CAA, and the hypocrisy of India's left liberal Muslims. Left Lutyens suggesting that the apprehensions being expressed over Taliban stem from Islamophobia. Are they suggesting that the Taliban represents the best values of Islam? A tweet by Rahul Shivshankar at 4:08 p.m. on 23rd August 21. I think by asking this question, you have actually nailed the hypocrisy of the likes of Sabah Naqvi, because I'll tell you what, there's a tweet by Sabah Naqvi at 10:15 p.m. 6 days back, where she says, "It is a surreal world. The Taliban holds a press conference and the world watches." Sabah Naqvi was basically salivating at the idea of Taliban holding a press conference, thereby trying to suggest and imply that all is good, all is fair in love and war. The Taliban needs to be forgiven. Oh, why? Because look, they had the guts to hold a press conference. Today, Sabah Naqvi on your show says the CAA is not about international policy making or politics, it's about domestic politics. You scroll down the timeline of a Hindu-phobic Sabah Naqvi. She has spoken about a bangle seller being threatened. She has spoken about people, particularly Muslims in UP, being threatened. This Sabah Naqvi has not tweeted once about a Rahul Rajput being lynched in Delhi, about a Rinku Sharma being lynched by Muslims, about
Quick response.
being lynched by Muslims, about Sawan Rathod
Shall I
being lynched
reply
by
to this
Okay,
hysterical
response.
spokesperson?
a young IB officer.
Shall I reply?
Sharma being
Please.
lynched by a
Rahul,
Respond.
Shall I reply?
Yes, Sabah Naqvi, respond.
Shall I
1 second,
reply
Sanju
to
Verma,
a
let her respond.
Shall I reply
Okay,
to
let her
rather
respond.
hysterical-
Let her respond. Let her
Shall I
respond.
reply to
Dr.
a
Sumansi
rather
Raman, let Sabah
hysterical-
Naqvi respond. She wants to respond. She can fight her own case. Don't be patronizing. Yes, Sabah Naqvi, go ahead.
Shall I reply to a rather hysterical spokesperson who may have been unaware that on that day when I put out the tweet, Rahul, Al Jazeera, BBC, CNN were all covering a Taliban press conference, and the BBC had 2 cameras. They were covering the journalists who were there. It was a 1-hour show. She doesn't know this is she official? I mean, and she wants to call me Islamophobic?
Okay.
Of course, I'm not
Okay. Let me just step in here. We're just digressing. Viewers, the fact is that the proof of the pudding is in its eating. Now, everyone, please, silence. The proof, viewers, of the pudding in its eating. Today, we have thankful Afghan Muslims. We have thankful Afghan Sikhs, Afghan Hindus here in India being rescued. We are one of the very few countries, viewers, that are operating flights. We've had to do backroom arrangements with France, even with the United States. I'm even being told that it's possibly even with Qatar, to try and get our citizens out and get those that have been who have been benefactors of India and Islam in Afghanistan, viewers. We are serving everyone's interests, and we are still being attacked for being Islamophobic. I just don't get it sometimes. I don't get it. Perhaps the politics is overtaking the principles. I don't know. Maybe it is. I leave it at this, viewers. But coming up, the force that Taliban fears the most, unconquered and undeterred, the Lion of Panjshir, with Times Now, speaking to me in just 3 minutes. Don't go away.